Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Eric Thompson. I'm the Vice President of Programs for 6th District PTA. We're really grateful to have both Winston and James here with us this morning to give this great presentation. Again, this is Workshop 8, Leveraging Partnerships for Student and Family Success with Sunday Friends in the Party Program. COVID has impacted the school setting for thousands of children in the Bay Area, leaving much of the educational realm a challenge for parents, educators alike. Today, we will highlight two organizations who will show how schools and community organizations can work together with families for the benefit of the kids, gain insight and inspiration on how you can implement or adapt your program to increase family engagement. Again, we will be recording this session, and we thank you for being here and participating with us this morning. Participants. And we are recording. So welcome. I'm first going to introduce Mr. James McCaskill. He's the Executive Director of Sunday Friends. He joined them as the Executive Director in 2018 after his family moved from Chicago to the Silicon Valley. Previously, he held leadership positions in faith-based organizations for 16 years, focusing on leading congregations in low-income communities in both the US and in the UK to become thriving centers of hope for their communities through strategic change, cultivating community partnerships and developing outreach initiatives, raising their profile in the community. With a passion for community engagement and supporting the marginalized, he has served on a variety of nonprofit boards for organizations addressing issues of health, housing, youth education, adult education, and the generational perpetuation of unemployment. We're going to go ahead and ask that you put all of your questions into the chat so our speakers can address them as they present.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Eric, for the introduction. And what I thought I would do is try to share a few slides that talks a little bit about what Sunday Friends does, and hopefully also give a little bit of how partnerships are working for us to do that. So I am going to attempt the share screen button and see if it gets my slides. I've got to allow Zoom to share. Zoom. That's a prize. See if that does it. Great.
Share screen.
Fantastic. So Sunday Friends has been around for 24 years in Silicon Valley, founded by a woman who started taking her kids to volunteer in the 1990s at a family homeless shelter on Sundays. And she started recruiting friends to join her, and they interacted with the kids and the parents and became known as Sunday Friends. And over time, the mission has evolved to empowering very low-income families to break the generational cycle of poverty by two things. One, fostering positive development in children, and then equipping the parents to be able to invest in their children's life success on that. And a part that's very important for us in terms of partnerships is that early on, the program moved out of the homeless shelter, which really limited the opportunity for Sunday Friends to interact with the families, since families were on 90-day rotations. And we moved into Lowell Elementary School near San Jose State downtown in the San Jose Unified School District. And that was a very key strategy for opening the program up to a wider audience. We have three primary areas that we focus on. First of all, we provide support for the household, and I'll say a little bit more about what that means. But you know, our ultimate goal is for kids to do well in school. So fostering that positive development is about giving, increasing their confidence, their enthusiasm for learning, and then it's about helping the parents to be able to engage in their children's learning. But if they're distracted by worrying of being able to pay the rent and cover the bills and manage their finances and face all the economic challenges as well as health challenges, then there's not as much headspace and energy and emotion to focus on education. So we think it's very important to support, sort of stabilize the household. And we do that through a couple means. We have a unique learn and earn system that every participant, whether you're 8 years old or 48 years old, earns credits for taking part in learning opportunities and saves those in their own virtual savings accounts and then redeem them for basic necessities, school supplies, other household items. And I'll say a bit more about that. Then another key part is the education component. And this is another part where we depend heavily on partnerships. So pre-COVID, our program was day-long Sunday programs at 3 elementary school sites. And parents and children would come together for about 6 hours for a variety of activities ranging from STEM and math and literacy to health and wellness, parenting, computer education, ESL, and all sorts of aspects to raise aspirations, to develop life skills. And to be able to provide that, we in the past have had a number of speakers from all sorts of agencies and organizations and local government, ranging from the police department's community safety team to the library's partners in reading group to the health department, talking about nutrition. So it's a very key part of our programming are those partnerships. And then the other piece of that is in empowering our members, both the youth and the adults, to grow in confidence, to grow in self-esteem, to take on leadership, to become leaders and mentors and volunteers in their community. I would say if I knew how to work this better, I'd look at questions and answer questions for you, but unfortunately I only see my screen. So after I go through all this, we'll work on the questions. And also I should say, I'm terribly sorry, about 11:30, I'm gonna have to log off to take care of a family issue that's arisen. But our Learn and Earn was about giving a sense of accomplishment, sense of earning, a sense of dignity. We call ourselves the working alternative to charity. And there are no handouts, everything is earned. So we have diapers, toilet paper, laundry detergent, toothpaste, shampoo, all sorts of basic necessities available to families to get using their credits, as well as toys and school supplies for the kids. Outside of COVID, and I'll talk a bit more about what we're doing during COVID, but outside of COVID, we also would provide a rent relief program twice a year that involved an essay application, so that worked on literacy and writing skills and confidence in English, and then an application fee using the credits. Another big part of our support is being a hub for information for other agencies and organizations in the community, whether it's immigration, whether it's legal assistance, housing assistance, education. We try to funnel to our families the information we get from the city and social services and from the school districts. I should say the bulk of our families are in San Jose Unified, Franklin McKinley, and Allen Rock school districts. We also provide college scholarships to young people whose families have been a part of Sunday Friends and are applying. You know, for us, that's a very key point of breaking the cycle of poverty. When the kids are off pursuing careers, obtaining higher education, and we like to be able to support some of that.
James, there was
on our learning opportunities, our key subject areas are parenting, financial literacy, digital fluency. We use that as a very broad description, ranging from STEM for the kids and inspiring future careers in the kids, computer education for both the kids and the adults. And COVID has been, our family members have grown exponentially in their confidence, and like everyone else with the online environment. English confidence, health and wellness, and leadership.
James, there was a question in the chat. How can they bring these kinds of activities and support to other school districts? So I think it's Oak Grove School District that was curious about it as well.
Yeah, that's a good question. And we, as Sunday Friends, are always asked, "Oh, please, could you start your program at such and such school?" Um, if we pretty much need to raise an additional 100,000 a year to open a new school site. So if you like one specifically at your school in your school district, help us find some funding, and we'll help make it happen. Uh, but our programs are open to anyone, anywhere in the area. So we don't limit membership in our programs based on the schools or the school districts that our programs happen to be in. So, you know, we have people who live in Morgan Hill, who live in Sunnyvale, who live in Santa Clara, who come from other parts. So we don't have a geographical limitation on that.
Got it. Thank you so much, James.
Sure. And then outside of COVID, the three schools where we are, one Sunday a month, we're at Lowell Elementary School in San Jose Unified. And one Sunday a month at Santee Elementary, Franklin McKinley, which is near McLaughlin and Story Road, and Gene R. Meadows Elementary in Franklin McKinley, which is just down the street from Santee on that. Lowell was our historic site. We've been there, I think, since 2008. In Santee, we moved there as part of a First Five initiative when they were investing in the Educare Center and the Franklin McKinley Children's Institute that are also at Santee. And then Gene R. Meadows was open a couple years ago with the help of the Board of Supervisors of Santa Clara County, especially David Cortese on that. COVID has flipped our world like everyone else's worlds, and we've been determined, and we've done really well at continuing our mission about education and that learning and earning aspect of it. So we are continuing our Learn and Earn program. We migrated our learning opportunities very quickly to an online environment, and we have a variety of almost daily Zoom classes, and our partners out in the community are helping with that. For instance, we've had several series on financial literacy provided by Excite Credit Union, and they have a very strong outreach to low-income communities. They have a special savings account for youth from low-income communities that's earning 5% interest, and they get a bonus payment each year. So we're getting our families signed up with that. And we also have weekly self-paced lessons covering a variety of topics on that. Our youth engagement has been more challenging during COVID, because who wants to spend all day on Zoom for school and then log on Zoom later in the day for another organization? And I know some of the after school programs I've talked to, like Third Street Community Center, Choral by Catholic Charities, or they're all having to be creative in getting that after school youth engagement. But one thing we are doing is we have a mentoring program. It's a three-way partnership with an organization called Meanly that has created a online platform that helps deal with child protection issues of, you know, we've had lots and lots of volunteers say, hey, I want to do tutoring, and we are very uncomfortable of having a minor on Zoom by themselves with an adult volunteer by themselves. So this Meanly platform helps with that. And it's a partnership with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So we have PwC employees signed up with that. We also, during the summer, got our kids in various virtual summer camps, which we do each year. We try to get our kids into STEM camps and things at the Tech Museum, and also athletic camps to work on the exercise in the summertime on that. But another big piece for a COVID response has been getting funding for financial assistance. So instead of our usual rent relief program, it's been a substantially bigger effort. I mean, we've given out 150,000 towards food cost and rent relief in the last couple of months. Some of that has come from donors, individual donors. Some of that has come from big grants. Some of that is come from Destination Home with their COVID financial assistance program. A number of our families are facing housing security issues when the eviction moratorium comes to an end. And we're very, very eager to help them maintain their housing. Because as you know, a stable household is very important for better education experience, stabilized family experience, and all those things. Any more questions, Eric, before I rattle on?
Not yet. Thank you for checking.
Sure. There it is, Spanish version. And I must apologize to Spanish speakers. I did Google Translate. So if any of the translations are funny, it's my fault for that. For those of you who might be interested, or if you know someone who could benefit from our programs, this is how to sign up. We have a help desk that is managed by a staff member on Mondays and Wednesday mornings from 9 to 11, and could be reached by this Google Voice number or by email. And if a person doesn't get through, to leave a message with their name, their phone number, the reason for their calling, to say, I'd like to sign up for the program. And then step 2 is to enroll in our online classroom. Because of our mission of our learn and earn model and wanting to develop dignity and a sense of earning and satisfaction about that way, I completely missed the drive-through part, and I'll come back to that. We are operating weekly drive-through distributions of basic necessities and food donation boxes, but we're not just giving them out. Our family members continue to earn credits through the online education. They make an online order each week and then pick up on Sundays from the Franklin McKinley School District Service Center the order that they've made. And so to be a part of the program, you can't just show up for the drive-through. You've got to enroll in the online classroom, start earning credits so that then you can order the basic necessities to pick up. And sorry for jumping ahead of that. Just want to highlight the Sunday drive-through that we're doing. We've given out over 27,000 items of basic necessities since March, which is a staggering number. This week will be our 29th drive-through, and we've done 120 families on average per drive-through. It just shows the need. And we have amazing group of volunteers who come and help. We have volunteer groups like National Charity League, Boys Team Charity, Scouts groups, individuals, churches, civic clubs, running drives to collect packs of diapers, packs of toilet paper, gift cards. We had a school group from Menlo run a gift card drive and deliver to us 125 $25 gift cards for our families on that. So partnerships make Sunday Friends happen. We couldn't do it without the partnerships, both on the education side and on the basic necessities side. And down at the bottom, pardon me, on our website, that sundayfriends.org/info will go to a page that has the help desk information if you'd like to share it with somebody. It's just about how to sign up for the program. And that is Sunday Friends in a nutshell. And let's see if I can turn off this. There. Did that bring me back to the universe?
Yes, but your video is now off, so we can't see you. But if anyone wants to ask questions. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, and if you need help unmuting, put it in the chat and I can help unmute you.
The website again has the info for signing up. And then for volunteering or contact us, all the links are there on the website. Great. I'd be curious to hear other stories of partnerships that people in the workshop have come across and have found successful or helpful in their situations.
Hi,
It's
how
a
are you?
very talkative group.
Good morning. Thank you for your time, both of you. Thank you for the presentation. I was wondering how can you can come and let us know a little bit more about what you're doing. We are in a small district, Oak Grove School District. Thank you for answering your question. What I'm trying or working on, and maybe you can help me in this one, we're trying to get more support, more donors, and to support our kids, technology, food, etc. We are a mixed district. We have some Title I schools. So I think my question basically is if you can give us some ideas on how get more help from people who's willing to help, but they don't know how. Support small district like ours that pretends to support a vast variety of representation. Our district is quite representative of California in the percentage of students and ethnicity-wise and poverty and richness. So I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
Yeah,
Sorry.
definitely making it. So it sounds like you would greatly appreciate some greater support for supporting the students in your district on that. And for any service-minded organization, there are a couple aspects to that. One is the marketing of the message, putting together messaging about a compelling story, the challenge you are facing, and how people can help. And then you have to get that story, that messaging out into an audience. And part of that is just the mass messaging, social media, developing contact list and doing e-blasts, and all those different channels to get it out there. But then another important part are the relationships, and getting somebody on your staff or a volunteer focused on cultivating the relationships with other organizations, whether it be volunteer groups like Rotary, Kiwanis, Scouts, National Charity League, cultivating the relationships with other agencies. The nonprofit world in Silicon Valley is very interconnected. The Silicon Valley Council of Nonprofits is a go-to place to learn about other nonprofits. The Center for Excellence in Nonprofits is another one. And the Association for Fundraising Professionals is another place to network, and more on the fundraising side. Another is to sign up for grant databases. We get emails each week from Grant Station, which is a subscription service. The city has a grant website now, San Jose City Grants. I forget what the actual website is. So it's also looking for those grant opportunities. So just in a quick bullet point, the messaging, getting the message out on as many channels as possible, cultivating the relationships. And I should also add in those relationships, corporate outreach. Adobe, for instance, has a community action team that does amazing support in the community. I mean, this year, Adobe has probably given us 40 or 50,000 overall. And lots of the local big companies have similar community outreach programs. PricewaterhouseCoopers does a lot of, instead of money, they give time, but doing some research that way. Watching the grants, keeping an eye out for those, and networking.
Thank you so much for your answer. Really appreciate it. My expertise is different on these fundraising things, so I need some people that helps me to figure it out. But thanks so much. Now that you give me some beautiful in points, I will talk to my team and try to start working on this.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
I'll put my email in the chat if anybody has follow-up.
Oh, thank you so much.
Are there any other questions? We've got about 5 minutes before James needs to go, and then I'll introduce Winston and he'll be able to present.
I'll mention the, I'll put in the chat organizations I mentioned. Great, thank you all for your time, and I'm sorry I have to cut out early. Winston, my immense apologies to that. I was really looking forward to hearing your presentation, and I'll put these organizations in the chat, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
All right, thank you, James. All right, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Winston. Winston is the founder and executive director of PARTY, the Positive Alternative Recreation Team Building Impact Program, which brings over 20 years of experience in youth development work, including serving on the City of San Jose Gang Task Force, Santa Clara County Violence Prevention Network, HIV Planning Council for Prevention and Care, and promoting programs for violence prevention in Santa Clara County, Alameda County, and Los Angeles County, a brainchild of Ashby's during his time as an active member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Ashby conceived the idea for the PARTY program when working with 3 African-American high school students in San Jose who were looking for direction and support in recruiting their peers to create a project that would address violence in their local community. Winston Ashby has successfully grown PARTY programs since 2000 through his advocacy and his innate ability to positively and inspirationally lead his community. Leveraging on non-traditional forms of leadership development and core programs, the PARTY program focuses on mentorship, leadership, and most importantly, civic engagement. Collaboration with different public and private agencies supporting African-American-led and anti-racial organizations has been key in the success of the PARTY program organization. Now turn it over to Winston and go ahead and continue to put your questions in the chat.
Thank you very much. I'm here to have a conversation with you. So I'm going to ask you a few questions before I get started as Mr. Thompson allows me to share my screen. Then we'll be able to get into the nitty gritty. First of all, let's give James a great big round of applause. Let's show me your emojis for that wonderful presentation and information. Sunday Friends, they provide a lot of great work and support to communities, youth, and families. So thank you very much for that presentation, and safe travels to you. I am the executive director and founder of the nonprofit organization called the PARTY program, which stands for Positive Alternative Recreation Team Building Impact Programs. And as I'm still waiting for the ability to share my screen, I want to know who I'm speaking with. So if you can type into the chat and just say you're, high school student, I go to this school, I'm a professor, I go to this school, I'm at this school, just whoever you are, let's start having a conversation. Because when we're talking about partnerships don't go one way. They're two-way. And I heard the gentleman from Oak Grove School District who communicated the support that he needs for his school district. And so I want to be able to have or engage in those types of conversations while I have this particular platform. I want to thank Santa Clara County Office of Education for hosting this amazing event today. Yesterday, we just held a youth equity event. And the reason why we held the youth equity event was because of the fact that when we were working with young people, high school and middle school kids throughout Santa Clara County, when we would communicate to administrators, young people are saying they need this type of support. Families are saying they need these types of support for their kids and their families. Schools administrators would say, hey, well, the data does not communicate this. Or we do not have enough data to be able to say, okay, we need to provide programming or support or create partnerships to be able to support either kids or to be able to support families into addressing these concerns or issues for young people in order for them to be successful at school, in the classroom, in the community. And so we said, we're going to take it upon ourselves. And I see that some of the kids that helped to create a youth equity survey is on the Zoom here today. So I thank everyone for our high school students that are part of this. I am only going to speak for about 5 minutes, and then I want to have a conversation. So
you should be able to share your screen now.
Oh, awesome. So so just a little bit about my framework. I want to talk to you as a parent, and then I want to have a conversation. And so right now, if you're representing a school district, can you just share with us a little emoji? Let us know that you're there. School districts, anyone? If anyone's here from Santa Clara County Office of Education, can you go ahead and share an emoji? Awesome. If you're a community leader, can you share with us an emoji? Thank you. If you are a high school student or a middle school student, can you share with us an emoji and let us know that you're here? All right. So I'm going to put on my parent hat. I just had my youngest son who graduated from high school. He didn't get to walk the stage, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. But he is the youngest of 3 kids that I have. All 3 of my children went to school in San Jose. So I'm speaking to you as an expert of someone who has children in Santa Clara County, or went to school in Santa Clara County. I am the single parent father of a biracial family. And I noticed that my son, who is in elementary school at the time, is not exhibiting the actions that I, as a parent, and my culture expects him to exhibit. Because I know that when he goes to school, he's in a different environment. I know when he plays sports, he's in a different environment. And I am hoping, as a parent who tries to instill to all of my children integrity, character, the values of caring and supporting others, being able to be accountable to adult leadership and supervision, being mindful of everyone that is around you, including your classmates. And when he does not exhibit these characters or behaviors at school, I try to reach out for support. I try to reach out for partnerships. And my children they have the same skin complexion as myself. And so when I ask and I try to reach out for help, I get the response from the city of San Jose. Is he in a gang? Is he connected with juvenile detention system? My answer is no, he's not. That's why I'm trying to reach out to you, so it doesn't happen, so it doesn't get to that place. But we don't have those resources for you. And as he's encountering administrators at school, there's no communication of, hey, let's help create a plan for your child to be successful. Now, it is his responsibility to follow that plan. But let's create a plan, the parent, the administrator, and the child, for the child to be successful. Well, that's what we do in the party program. We don't do a blanket program. Every individual in our program has a voice. They get to communicate their truth. And we create an action plan for every child that's in our program for them to be successful. And we do it through 4 programs. Still not able to share my screen, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep talking for right now. And so with this, my child enters middle school. And he gets bullied. And the response is, okay, your child hangs out on this side of campus. The other child will hang out on the other side of campus. Well, being executive director and founder of the party program for 20 years, I believe in creating action plans to help young people be successful and be able to identify partnerships that will allow young people to stay busy, to receive support, and to be able to engage with caring adults. Because that's the principles of what we do in a party program. And so when I hear here's how your child's going to be successful, and this is in the Evergreen School District, the bullying continues. And as my son comes home, he's telling me, Dad, the bullying is continuing and more kids are getting involved with this. And so I say, tell an adult, tell a teacher, no one's going to do anything about it, Dad. And then so I communicate what my child is communicating to me. And then for some reason, it's not resonating with the school. It is not until the police has to be called, because the situation escalates after 3 months. And now my child is facing expulsion from school. That I have to communicate, here is the plan that you communicated for my child. And I hope there's some parents on this call, on this Zoom here today. Here is the plan that you communicated. I communicated to you that plan was not going to work. And this is based on my experience of the work that I've been doing throughout the country. And so when I, the parent, I'm put on my parent's hat, I'm trying to communicate to you as the administrator, as the representative of the school. Let's work together to create a plan so that my child could be successful. And you choose not to do that, or you fail to do that, then I say you, the school district, are accountable. So I am going to transition from that part, and I'm going to put back on my executive director hat on for the party program, the founder hat of the party program. I'm going to also let you know that I did go to school in San Jose, in Santa Clara County, went to Mount Pleasant High School. The reason why I formed the organization was because when I was in high school, I wasn't identified as a leader by my peers or by my school. It took an outside participation in another organization called, it was at San Jose State, called Upward Bound, that helped me to identify my leadership potential and opportunities. Now, it's up to me to take action after they give me opportunity, but I took that action. And because of that, I believe that I was able to be successful, graduate from high school. And now with my sense of identity of who I truly am, it gave me a platform to be successful in college. It gave me a platform to be able to handle challenges of how am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay tuition? Because we at Santa Clara County and people that are educators for K through 12, our primary goal is to help young people to be able to transition from K through 12 to be successful individuals in life. And it creates a partnership with the students. It creates it needs a partnership with the community. It needs a partnership with the family. And so if school districts value partnerships, then now we can all get into a vehicle and help that child and help every child be successful, even during COVID-19. So, Mr. Thompson, let's have a conversation now. What are some of the questions out there? What are your needs? Who, you know, what are you seeing in your schools now that we're in COVID-19 and you're doing things virtually? All right. So, do we have any questions or statements out there?
No questions yet that I can see.
Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions. I want everyone to respond because this is not I'm not speaking. This is a workshop, so we're going to be all working together. Tell me what your role is right now. So if you're a student, say I'm a student. If you work for a school district, I want to know what school district you're representing.
Okay,
If you're a parent, let me know.
So thank you so much for the presentation and
Sure.
sharing your story, Mr. Winston. I'm a district community liaison, trilingual for Oak Grove School District. And as my peers, a couple of them are here, Ms. Sagun and Ms. Macias, the way we support our kids and the families is through parent education, meetings with the parents. Sometimes we are allowed to speak with the kids and have conversations with them about real life, which for me, real life is this particular moment in time. Is not the future or what they might face, is what they're facing in that particular time, as your kid talking about bullying and all that. The solutions for that particular time, which hopefully one day will change. But so we try to do all this, and I think my question, I don't know the rest, and I apologize, is how the party program, can come and have these kind of conversations for kids, with kids that they get related. Sometimes, you're a father, I'm a father, I have a 20-year-old, and they don't, because we did the same, we don't listen to old people, which is bad and wrong, and experience will show us that, but they identified with kids sooner than they identified with us. So do you on the program have kids age related that come and talk to the kids about their reality, what they face, and how they change it? Because I think that's one of the most important things.
All right, so here's my action plan for your school district, right? I know one of the schools that you feed into is Oak Grove High School. I coached 5 years football for Oak Grove High School. I know that at least one of your school that feeds into Oak Grove High School, they have a lot of athletes that attend your school. Your athletes have the opportunity to be your biggest allies. If you put on the hat to them, hey, you're going to be our civic engagers as well. You had a teacher, she's an amazing teacher. I don't know if she's still there, but she worked to teach the kids stepping. And so when kids still want to continue to step, however, stepping wasn't available at Oak Grove High School. I had communicated to your school at that time, hey, let me come in and work with your kids who want to step or do hip hop dance or do Polynesian dance, and let's create a program or project or activities so that we can work together. And while we're teaching them these dancing routines and these stepping routines, we're also communicating about character development. We're also talking about setting goals. We're also promoting culture, individual culture. We're creating cross-cultural connections and relationships. And so I would love to continue to have that conversation, because what I would tell you, if we were able to do this in the next 2 weeks, then we could begin doing activities within the month of November. I would tell you that I would assign a high school student at Oak Grove High School to help us identify some more high school students who maybe went to Edenville High School, Edenville Middle School, or any of the other schools that you have, and create a peer mentorship program. Am I right, Lana? Would you do that? Because she's on the Zoom right now. See, people call me the connector, because that's all I try to connect people with opportunities. If you want to have a conversation about funding opportunities, or how can we create more funding opportunities for the programs that we have or that we need, then I would say, okay, let's talk to the Commonwealth Club or the Commonwealth Credit Union, who is adjacent to the school district, who wants to do more programming on financial literacy. I know the landscape that you're in, and I'm willing not just to give you my email address. I'm saying, okay, let's get on a phone call. Let's have a conversation. Let's create some action plans. Let's push some action steps to help support you. And it's based on not what I want you to do or what I think you should do. It's based on what you say, this is what I need help with. This is what our kids need help with. Because at the end of the day, if you're here to support young people and you're here to help create partnerships for them and their families, then that's what I'm all about. That's what the party program is all about.
So our district feeds, yes, into our middle schools, because we are just TK 8th district, small one. So we feed one of the school I work with.
Right.
For years feeds Oak Grove and Santa Teresa High School, both of them. And we also do that Oak Grove and Andrew Hill. So I'm the soccer coach for them. So yeah, I try to use my soccer kids as a role models to their peers, and then to try to influence it. That's an awesome idea, and I will try to see. Alas, COVID bans sports, technically, practice here and then, and with logs, so we might not have that privilege until next year. With Zoom, everything changes.
Well, can I? Because we only have 5 minutes, and
yeah. So I just want another idea. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to say this, and definitely I want to put my phone number in the chat, and that is if I'm able to do that. But we were able to reach over 1,200 kids this school year. And we just had an event yesterday, and we had high school students who participated in this event virtually and in person. And a lot of kids, what they're saying now, if you go to our website, www.partyprogram.com, you'll see kids' testimonials throughout this summer. a lot of schools, a lot of people that we're talking about is they're saying there's nothing we can do right now. We have to wait till COVID-19 is over. And I say, no, that's not true. You start planning now. You start creating the relationships now. You continue to have conversations with kids now, especially kids that, oh, this kid's not showing up, or this kid's not having, they're not doing homework. Being able to understand the underlying root of who that kid is, what their family structure is very important. Because maybe they don't have a quiet place at home where they could study. I didn't have that. And I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go home. My teacher said I need an hour of a quiet space. My mom said, no, I need your help with this. I need your help with that. So being able to just reaching out and planting those seeds and giving just a little bit of support here, a little bit of support there, creating opportunities. And then you'll be able to use that now to say, okay, here's what we need to do when we return from COVID-19. And we need to make sure we reach out to Johnny, and we need to make sure that we reach out to Kimmy over here. So we do that now. We don't plan when we're in a fire. We plan for the fire. All right, does anyone else who have not said anything, did I miss any other questions? I know we have about 2 minutes left. How do I put my information in the chat? Miss
Can
Macias.
you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Hi, I was inspired to say something before our time ran out. I just want to, appreciate what you shared, and I do see that a lot of our students and youth in middle school, elementary school, their mental health is just depleting. Parents don't have the tools, and so what I'm hearing, saying about the peer program, it's like we're trying to find new avenues. Like, I don't want to add more stress to our families, to our parents. My tone of conversation with parents now is, you know what, you're doing the best that you can, let us help you. But I don't have so many tools to help. Our families are in such high need, and their mental state is just, I'm just seeing it, and it's affecting kids. So what you're sharing is hopeful. It's, yes, we can do it. We don't have to wait for the pandemic. Like, we can work through it. And
yes.
So all this information, it really is inspiring. It really is giving me a sense of hope that through the holidays that are coming up, like, I'm already anticipating even higher needs. So I'm trying to get all these resources and just have everything so that when I have families that are asking for help, that are just don't know what direction to go, like, I can assist them the best that I can. So thank you for this.
Thank you for sharing that, Ms. Macias. And as I said before, you tell us what help you need, and we'll if we can't support you, we will work together to find those resources for you and with you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because our kids need that help, and you will not. I mean, you'll be surprised how many kids want to support other kids.
Yes, I believe you. They need to have their roles changed instead of always being the one in need to help someone. I mean, that's amazing for them too. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, so get with us next week. We have an event coming up. It's called The Game of Life. It's going to be in November. We're partnering with a major company who wants to engage their employees in service. By you participating, this is going to be your opportunity to get more volunteers, because their call to action is to do more service in